Hi, Brendan. Ian Stringer here. Hi, thank you for your time. As always, how do you reflect on that 1-1 draw, Brendan? You seem pretty strong in the first half, but maybe give Palace credit in the second half, and you tailed off a little bit. Maybe is a draw a fair result for both sides?
Yep, we're disappointed, Ian, with the result in terms of, like you say, we had control of the first half, but also had opportunities. And the first goal, if we can get that there, then of course it can give us a real good foothold in the game. So I thought we deserved that in the first half, but you got to take your chances. Second half, they started brightly in the first 20 minutes, so we didn't really get going. We gave away a goal which we could do much better in. But for the second sort of time in 3 days, we've showed a great reaction. You know, to go behind in a game where you're needing a lot of physicality in the game to get back into it. I thought the players deserve a huge amount of credit, and that will really help us going forward. But yeah, I thought we had enough chances and enough pressure there, and to win the game. But like I've always said, if you can't win it, make sure you don't lose it. And Harvey comes up with a great goal again, and hopefully it'll be a valuable point for us at the end of the season.
Yeah, first half you did create, Brendan. I wonder whether cutting edge is an issue for you, was an issue for you. We're all sat here desperate to see Kelechi Iheanacho score a hat-trick, and desperate for, as I'm sure you are, for him to kick on, show what you know you've got, show what you've seen in training. But he just seems really low on confidence, and of course the penalty just compounded that.
Yeah. He's a boy that gives everything in training, and like I said, he doesn't get too many opportunities. He's obviously shown that in the Europa League, where he's performed really well for us. And ironically, yesterday him and Ayo, because Jamie wasn't starting, those were the two designated penalty takers, and he got 5 out of 5 penalties, great penalties, different types. So it's a great opportunity for him, you know. But just seemed a little bit hesitant with it. So yeah, he had another good chance in the near post. Good cross from Dennis comes in. It just didn't quite fall for him today.
Was that almost a training penalty shootout to see who would be the penalty taker then, Brendan, was it? And Kelechi put his 5 away and Perez didn't?
Yeah, Ayo had 4. He got 4 out of 5. I think it's one where we know our list of penalty takers. You know, you get Jamie and you get Yuri, who normally are 2 in the game, and those 2, like you see, they've got great composure and personality in the game to take it. And then obviously the 2 boys today were the designated ones also.
Brendan, I wonder whether you'd mind outlining, and I understand, and Matt Piper and I talked about it during the game and totally get it. 48 hours ago, intense Premier League football against Manchester United, the risk of injury, the risk of fatigue, and injury on top of fatigue, and the changes. I understand it and I get it. However, a few people on our airwaves have wondered why. I wonder whether you'd kindly just explain to us the changes you made today and the reasons for those. I'd imagine, Brendan, they are for fatigue, stroke, mitigation against injury issues, but in your own words.
Yeah, it's exactly that. I think that obviously the ones that we felt could play without the risk, and so Casper, JJ, I think he could play 7 games on the spin. He's just a machine. Johnny was someone that we needed because the other centre halves weren't going to be available for us. We had obviously Cags coming back in, hoping to get him 20 minutes or so if the game allowed it. But Wesley Fofana, he needed to come out. We've been managing an issue with him and his knee, and he hasn't been able to get out. You know, we've been able to recover him enough to play in the games that he's played, but the second game in less than 48 hours, that was going to be tough for him. So he wasn't even in the squad. Left back, Timothy Castagne is just back from a hamstring, so you can't put him at risk again by playing another game in short period of time. Wilf, like you see how important he is for him. He's starting to get his game time back, but again, we don't want to put the risk at him. He's, you know, we've got all the measurements and of where he's at and what zones he's in. So again, have to be careful with him. Harvey, got great mentality and great physicality. He's young, so he's done great over the course of the couple of games. James Maddison wasn't fit, so he couldn't travel. Vards is managing an issue, as you know, so start him is always going to be really difficult, but try to get him into the game for a half hour. And who is it? Yeah, Mark Albrighton. Mark's played the last numbers of games, so there's obviously that's the reasons behind it. If we felt that we could play all the same players all the time, the team that is played at the weekend, we would have done. But no, I also trust the players, and the performance today should have been enough to get the result, to get the win, but it didn't. So we accept that. If there's any blame or any, it's certainly on me, because obviously I picked the team.
You mentioned Harvey Barnes, Brendan. He, of course, 2 finishes, both relatively similar. Left-footed finishes into the bottom corner, getting his shot away very quickly, moving the ball and moving his body weight. He seems in really, really good form at the minute. I know he had some excellent form last season. What are you seeing that you've coached and that your coaching staff have improved and seen progress in Harvey Barnes that pleases you at the moment?
I think his confidence at the level is improving all the time. You think last year was his first full season in the Premier League again, so we're trying to get him into areas and to score more goals and take that risk in the final third. He practices a lot. He's working on his finish and he's shooting all the time. And his goal today was great. Johnny wins a really good header. He takes the touch from that, and then if you see the goal again, he's got a lot of bodies around him, but how he manipulates the ball and creates the space for the shot was fantastic. So, delighted for him. He's the thing I've always said, he needs to improve his numbers and his assists, and he's doing that. And long may it continue.
Last couple of Brendan, if you wouldn't mind. I think this may be the last time we speak to you in the calendar year 2020. As a football manager and a football coach, I'm sure it's not in the playbook to deal with pandemics and deal with tests for viruses once a week. But I wonder how you reflect on the calendar year for your football club.
Yeah, it's obviously been a very difficult year, like you say, for everyone. I think how the club and everyone has handled the pandemic is a true testament to how well the club is run, how they have looked after not just the players and the people, but the community. And we all hope we can now come out of this year and into next year with a lot more optimism. And like I say, we can get back to what we would consider to be normal life. And in terms of football, that's getting supporters back in. So yeah, from a football perspective, I've been really pleased with the continual development of the team. We've a lot of lessons that have been learned this year, both positive and negative, and that's learning, that's development with young players. We've consistently been up there, and we'll hopefully continue to be.
Finally from me, Brendan, the January transfer window is around the corner, of course. Do you predict that you're going to be bringing many players in?
I don't believe so, Ian. I think it's something that we've obviously looked at, but if there's something that we think can really, really help us and improve us, then the club will always look at it. But I don't think there'll be anyone coming in for the sake of it.
All being well, Brendan, we'll see you at St James's Park on the 3rd of January. To you and the players, Happy New Year to you, and thanks for your time.
Thanks, Ian. Thank you very much. You too.
Okay, guys, I'm going to do 2 more on today, and then we'll go into pre-match for Newcastle. So, Rob Tanner, please.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi, Rob.
In terms of Kelechi and the time that you've been working with him, how has he progressed? How has his development come along? And how difficult is it for a young striker like Kelechi to develop and fulfil his potential when he's not getting regular games?
Well, yeah, it is difficult. However, I've got to say I've seen his confidence improve in the time I've been here. It's just really unfortunate for him today because he's a young player, as you say, Rob. It is difficult, whether you're young or a senior player. You've seen it with Slimani when he's come in. A senior player having, being a number one striker. It's always difficult when you're coming in and you're playing behind one of the world's best strikers. But he's continued to work. I can only judge it from my own time here. He trains every single day. He's come in and made impact in games for us. And I guess when he started, in particular in the Premier League, or in the Europa League, he's done really well. So today that was an opportunity for him to get the goal, and it didn't come. So and that's something that obviously as a striker you have to deal with. But no, he's a good boy to have around the team. It's never easy because he isn't playing so much, but he always shows a real positive attitude in training and in the games. And yeah, I feel for him today, but I'm sure other opportunities will come and he'll take them. Cheers, Rob.
Okay, Tim Thornton, please, Sky Sports.
Hi, Brendan. Just a
Hi,
quick
Tim.
on the news tonight. I'm sure you've seen it. Manchester City Everton game's been postponed because of coronavirus. Do you still have full confidence in the protocols and rules around the Premier League, and how much of a concern is it that it could have an impact on your club over the next few weeks? Is there anything more that can be done?
Well, no, I think that I think how football has dealt with the pandemic is, has been really, really positive. I think all clubs, there's regular testing, we get lots of advice and lots of procedures around staying safe, and thankfully we as a club have been very good in that aspect. But of course it can be bad luck and bad fortune that means a game has to be wiped out. So yeah, I think it's just we have to keep the vigilance and making sure all the procedures are in place, and like I said, all the advice that we're getting from the doctors and our science teams and medical teams, then we have to continue with those protocols.
Thank you.
Cheers, Tim.
Okay, I'm going to draw that there, and we'll do a short preview for our game at Newcastle on Sunday that will be embargoed until 10:30.